What's up, everybody? Welcome to the main card minute 10-minute bet breakdown for UFC Atlantic City. Erin Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot. After 2 long weeks, we are finally out of the UFC Apex and back in front of a crowd. Unfortunately, it's in the sleaziest city in New Jersey, Atlantic City, baby. Let's get to it. First fight of the night, we got Virna Jandiroba taking on Loopy Godinez. Loopy 7-3 in the UFC, Virna 5-3 in the UFC. We're going to focus on those losses for a second. Virna's 3 losses: Amanda Hebas, Mackenzie Dern, Carla Esparza. Really solid losses. Top 10 women right there. Loopy's losses, on the other hand: Angela Hill, Luana Carolina, Jessica Penne. Not the best when you stack them up side by side. As I just said, too, Loopy's last loss was to Angela Hill, who Virna beat 2 fights ago. Not only that, Virna's coming off a decision victory to Marina Rodriguez. Really solid win there as well. I like Virna as a dog here. That's not my actual bet for this fight, but Virna at plus 170, there is 100% value there. Stacked up on paper, she looks like she has a better resume. She's fought the better fighters straight up. Both these girls love to go the distance, though. Jandiroba's gone the distance 5 in her 8 out of 8 UFC fights. Loopy's gone 8 of 10 to decision. So, fight to go the distance, minus 250. I'm taking it. I'm obviously going to parlay it because we don't take any minus money bets. We're going to make sure it's plus money. But I feel like that's the best value here. This one definitely goes long. And because I feel like Virna could be a live dog, it's too risky to take Loopy in any way. If you guys are confident in Loopy, again, I think decision is probably your best prop. That's still minus money. It's minus 120, which kind of sucks. I'd rather just take fight goes the distance in case Virna pulls it off. But again, if you're looking for a nice plus money single, Virna money line plus 170, really solid value on that. Up next, we got Nursulton Ruziboev taking on Sedriques Dumas. And Sedriques is kind of a Dumas recently. He just got arrested like a month ago. And maybe it's nothing, man. Jeff Neal got a DWI that time. Like, probably didn't affect his training or anything. But Dumas here, maybe it's affecting his training, man. Mentally, physically, maybe he was in jail. I mean, how fucking long was he in there? I don't know. There's something about this that I don't like. So I'm kind of fading Dumas hard here. The other factor that I think is extremely important in this fight is Dumas's one loss has come by submission. And it wasn't that long ago. It was in the UFC 2 fights ago. Ruziboev has 33 wins. Not only have 31 of them ended by finish, but 20 of them by sub. This dude's a submission ace. And he gets it done early, like real fucking early. His last 9 fights, he's finished in the first round. That is absurd. That being said, Sedriques a lot tougher than he looks. Even that time he got subbed. It was halfway through the second round. He hit the over 1.5. Reason I'm bringing that up is because the over 1.5 in this fight is plus 115. If you're feeling confident that Dumas can last, or maybe Ruziboev will gas, I really think that's a solid bet. I'm personally not going to take it. I'm riding with Ruziboev by finish. I'm thinking Dumas has too much going on in his life, a little distracted, going to snatch that fucking gilly. I don't know. Something's going to happen here. Ruziboev by finish, minus 210. We're going to parlay it with Jandiroba, Godinez to go the distance, and that comes out to plus 107. Really solid value on those. Again, I mentioned the over 1.5 is plus 115. I don't love that bet, but if you think it's going to go long, it is solid. And then Ruziboev by sub, as I mentioned, that's the one way Dumas has lost, and Ruziboev has won 20 times that way. That's plus 115. Really solid single there. I don't know. Up next, we got my boy. He's still my boy. Chris Weidman taking on Bruno Silva. All right, straight up, taking a homer pick here. Long Island boy, gotta go with Chris Weidman. He's a former champ, all right? He's legit. Sure, he's lost 2 of his last 9. Oh my God. It sounds so bad to say. But Bruno Silva has only won 1 of his last 5. Like, Bruno Silva isn't anything to be impressed by either. Sure, he started his UFC career on a 3-fight first round finish streak. Excuse me, the second fight was in the third round. Either way, 3-fight finish streak. But in his 4 of his last 5, dude, he's been finished himself twice. That one win, he did knock out Brad Tavares. I don't know. Sure, he fought Alex Pereira. He fought GM3. He fought Brendan Allen. He's not fighting scrubs. But Chris Weidman, again, former champ. Don't you guys love the comeback story? This dude had his legs snapped in half. We need him to get a win. We need Weidman to get a win, go out on top, retire, just get the dub back. He's never going to stop fighting until he gets the dub back. We need him to get it. Little nervous here because Weidman has 7 losses on his career, 6 by KO. Okay. Bruno Silva's 4 wins in the UFC, all KOs. Not only that, 23 wins, 20 KOs. The odds are not in our favor, boys. But I told you already, I'm riding with Chris Weidman, Long Island, baby, plus 250. I'll take that single all day. If it's someone I like and you're giving me plus 200, done. Book it, done. I will say, if you're looking for smarter bets to take on this, non-homer bets, Silva by KO, still minus money, minus 170. But I just mentioned Weidman's been knocked out a whole bunch, and Silva does a whole bunch of knocking out. The over 1.5 is minus 135. I think Weidman can last long in this. The over 2.5, if you think it's going to go the distance, kind of plus 170. Really solid single there. All right, co-main event. We got Vicente Luque taking on Joaquin Buckley. So I initially read this fight on paper and I was like, all right, well, Luque runs right through him easily. And then I started to think about it a little harder and I looked at the odds. The odds are almost a pick 'em at this point, which is fucking crazy to me. But then I was like, dude, Luque has been through some wars. He's still only 32 years old, but he's got 32 fights under his belt. And I mean, he's been active as hell. Most of his wins come by finish. 19 of his 22 wins have come by finish. So I didn't really know where to go here because on the other side, Joaquin Buckley still only 29 years old and doesn't have the best record in the UFC. 7-4, came into the UFC during the pandemic. But dude, like those 4 losses are like every time he stepped up competition, besides Alessio Di Chirico, who knocked him the fuck out. That was kind of fluky though. Lost to Kevin Holland, lost to Imavov, and lost to Chris Curtis. 3 solid losses, top 15 guys. But what do you think Luque is? A top 15 guy. I will say Buckley has looked better each fight. Like he definitely works on his game, which kind of has me nervous here. But Vicente's coming off that dominant decision victory over RDA. I mean, his last 2 losses, Jeff Neal, Bilal Muhammad, those are not bad losses. Those are top 5 guys. I like Luque here, but I don't have enough confidence to actually take it because of the age factor, the miles, all that shit. So I'm taking the over half a round, okay? Minus 600. Either of these guys could finish the fight at any moment. Luque can be chinny and Joaquin can get subbed, knocked out, all that shit. A little nervous there. So I'd rather just take the over half a round. Obviously, we're going to parlay it. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, the over 2.5 is plus 132 and Luque by finish is plus 135. All right, though. Main event. Erin Cold-Blooded Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot. I tried to do like a really good French accent there, and it came out probably worse than I've ever said it. Anyways, Erin Blanchfield, dude, looks like a future champ, and I think she's going to be one, dude. She's 12-1, 6 of those by finish, 4 of those by sub. In the UFC, she's 6-0, 3 of those by sub. Really dominant grappler. Her lone loss came to Tracy Cortez back in Invicta. Split decision. If you watch back that fight, there's an argument to be made that Erin won, and that would be another solid win on her record. Just saying. Let's look at Fiorot, though. She's 34, 10 years older, 11-1. Really good kickboxer. 6 wins by KO, 6 by decision. 5 by decision. 6-0 in the UFC as well with 2 knockouts. Is coming off a decision victory to Rose. Looked really solid there. She's a great point fighter. Her fights aren't the most exciting, but she's very dominant. Her lone loss came in her first ever professional fight to Leah McCourt from Bellator back in Cage Warriors. So interesting that both of these girls fought to like an elite level woman back in the day, like way before they were ever really a name. But Erin Blanchfield, dude, beat Talia Santos, beat Jessica Andrade, beat Molly McCann. I mean, Miranda Maverick just looked so good. And I'm riding with her money line. She's only minus 140. I feel like that's crazy good odds. We're parlaying it with Luque Buckley to go over half a round. Gets us to a perfect plus 100. Okay, looking for anything else to take. Fight to go the distance is minus 105. Just misplaced plus money. But yo, neither of these girls has ever been finished, so I do think that's a solid bet. Otherwise, Blanchfield by finish, plus 150. 5-round fight. Blanchfield really dominant. Fiorot by decision, plus 285 if you think she's going to outpoint her. That does it, guys. Thanks for watching and enjoy the fights.